Some of the most dangerous animals on the planet aren't always the biggest and most obvious ones. Have you ever heard of the cone snail? What about the Tsetse fly? If you want to find out what some of the most terrifying animals on the planet are, then this is for you as we count down 10 dangerous animals you don't want problems with. When left alone, Cape buffaloes, which numbers over 900,000, are found in sub-Saharan Africa, are a relatively benign animal, preferring to move in large herds to graze early in the morning and late in the afternoon, or to congregate around watering holes and stay hydrated. When a buffalo or one of its calves is attacked or injured, however, it becomes the embodiment of its nickname, the Black Death. These behemoths, which can grow up to nearly 9 feet tall and weigh close to 2,000 pounds, are said to have killed more hunters on the continent than any other creature. They circle and stalk their prey before charging at speeds of up to 35 miles per hour. They're also noted for continuing to charge even if they're hurt, and they'll attack moving automobiles without hesitation. You don't want to get those horns messing around with you. Gary, the snail from SpongeBob SquarePants, may look harmless, but if he's a cone snail, then he's a cold-blooded killer. The cone snail is a 6-inch sea critter that lives in reefs in the Indo-Pacific. They have brown and white shells and, believe it or not, feed on fish. So how on earth does a small snail manage to bring down a fish? Well, the answer will see your water exploits limited to the bathtub from here on in. They are venomous, and not just a little bit, but a whole lot. They are the most toxic of over 500 snail species and have several human deaths to answer for. They use an awful harpoon-like tooth to deliver their venom, which causes paralysis. There is also no way to cure it, other than try to keep the sufferer alive until the toxin wears off. But it's not all bad news. There is potential in the research world for the venom of a cone snail to form part of a pain-killing drugs. So far, it has been proven to be 10 times more powerful than morphine. Researchers must figure out how to make sure it doesn't kill anyone in the process. As you can see, no matter how small something is, you never know how potent or dangerous it can be. If it looks weird and you've never seen it before, stay away from it. Before we go on, like this video, pop the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell right now, or the ghost in your closet will manifest itself tonight. The poison dart is the name of a large, diverse group of brightly colored frogs that live mostly in northern South America, of which only a handful of species are particularly dangerous to humans. The deadliest, the golden poison dart, inhabits a small range of rainforest along Colombia's Pacific coast, and grows to around 2 inches long, which is roughly the size of a paperclip. So it's not a very big frog, but sometimes small packages come with debilitating tool sets. Its poison, called batrachotoxin, is so potent that there's enough in one frog to kill 10 grown men, and just 2 micrograms is enough to kill a single individual. But what makes the amphibian especially dangerous is that its poisonous glands are located beneath its skin, meaning a mere touch will cause trouble. Basically, if you ever meet this frog face to face, you don't want to kiss it to find out if it'll turn into a prince. Often found floating or moving at speeds close to 5 miles per hour in the Indo-Pacific waters north of Australia, these transparent, nearly invisible invertebrates are considered by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration to be the most venomous marine animals in the world. Their namesake cubic frames contain up to 15 tentacles at the corners, with each growing as long as 10 feet, all lined with thousands of stinging cells, known as nematocysts, which contain toxins that simultaneously attack the heart, nervous system, and skin cells. While antivenoms do exist, the poison is so powerful that many of the hundreds of reported victims each year go into shock, drowning or dying of heart failure before reaching shore. Even if you're lucky enough to make it to the hospital and receive the antidote, survivors can sometimes experience considerable pain for weeks afterward and bear nasty scars from the stings. It really makes you think twice about taking a swim in the ocean. Even if these creatures swim in deep waters, once you know this, you'll always panic at the mere sight of a jellyfish in the water, even if it's not the box jellyfish. Pufferfish, also known as blowfish, can be found in tropical oceans all over the world, but particularly in the waters of Japan, China, and the Philippines. Though they're the world's second most poisonous invertebrate, they're arguably more dangerous because of their neurotoxin, tetrodotoxin, which is found in the fish's skin, muscle tissue, liver, kidneys, and gonads, all of which must be avoided when preparing it for human consumption. While wild encounters with pufferfish are undoubtedly dangerous, the risk of death from eating one increases in nations like Japan, where it is regarded as a delicacy known as fugu and can only be prepared by professional certified chefs. Even yet, ingestion-related deaths happen many times a year. Tetrodotoxin is up to 1,200 times more deadly than cyanide, and it can cause paralysis of the tongue and lips, disorientation, vomiting, tachycardia, difficulty breathing, muscle paralysis, and death if not treated. I don't care how tasty this fish is, it's not making its way in my kitchen. Though species such as the boomslang or king cobra are dangerous because of their poisons, the black mamba is especially deadly due to its speed. Found on the savannas and rocky areas of southern and eastern Africa, the species, which can grow up to 14 feet long, is the fastest of all snakes, slithering at speeds of up to 12.5 miles per hour, which makes escaping one in remote areas much more difficult. Imagine taking a stroll in the forest and a black mamba is threatened by you and begins to chase you. What a scary feeling that must be. The battle is lost even before it begins. Thankfully, black mambas usually only strike when threatened, but when they do, they'll bite repeatedly, delivering enough venom, a blend of neuro and cardiotoxins in a single bite to kill 10 people. That's some destructive artillery if you ask me. Finally, if one doesn't receive the correlative antivenom within 20 minutes, the bites are almost 100% fatal. How stressful it must be when you know you only have 20 minutes to save your life after being bitten by a black mamba. You better know your Hail Mary by heart. Alligators in Florida are frightening, but they're nothing compared to their dreadful cousins, the fearsome crocodiles who are more irritable, easily agitated, and violent towards everything that enters their path. The largest and most dangerous species on the planet is the saltwater crocodile, which may be found throughout the Indo-Pacific area, from parts of India and Vietnam to northern Australia. These vicious predators may grow to be 23 feet long and weigh over 2,000 pounds, and they are known to kill hundreds of people each year. In fact, the entire crocodile population is responsible for more annual human fatalities than sharks. Saltwater crocodiles are particularly dangerous because they can swim well in both salt and fresh water and can strike rapidly with a bite that delivers 3,700 pounds per square inch of pressure, comparable to that of a Tyrannosaurus rex. If that is enough to worry you, consider this. A well-done steak is chomped at roughly 200 pounds per square inch of pressure, which is only 5% of the strength of a saltwater's jaw. The tsetse fly, a microscopic speck of an insect that may grow up to 0.7 inches in length, or approximately the same size as a housefly, is often found in sub-Saharan African countries, particularly those in the continent's center, such as Sudan, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and Angola. While the flies themselves are vicious blood-sucking bugs that normally feed during the peak warm hours, their true terror is the protozoan parasites that they carry, known as trypanosomes. African sleeping sickness is caused by these tiny infections, which cause neurological and meningoencephalitis symptoms such as behavioral abnormalities and impaired coordination, as well as sleep cycle disruptions that give the condition its name. It can lead to death if left untreated. While there are no vaccines or medications available to prevent infection, wearing neutral-colored clothing will deter the fly because the tsetse is attracted to bright and dark colors, especially blue. Avoiding bushes during the day and wearing permethrin-treated gear in more remote areas are all effective methods of protection. Because of the overwhelming number of deaths each year linked to the numerous illnesses carried by some of the more than 3,000 species around the world, the common mosquito, even tinier than the tsetse fly, rates as the second most hazardous on our list. Insects from the genera Aedes, Anopheles, and Culex are the principal vectors of diseases like malaria, chikungunya, encephalitis, elephantiasis, yellow fever, dengue fever, West Nile virus, and Zika, which infect an estimated 700 million people and kill around 725,000 people each year. More than half of the world's population is currently in danger of mosquito-borne diseases, according to the World Health Organization. Because pests are drawn to our body temperatures and the CO2 we exhale, using insect repellents, strong and active chemicals like DEET and pigardin is one of the best ways to avoid illness. Surprised? After all, we are animals as well. And given that we've been killing each other for 10,000 years, with total war-related deaths estimated to be between 150 million and 1 billion, it's no surprise that we are at the top of this list. Even though we are considered to be living in the most peaceful age in history, we continue to assault one another with astonishingly high rates of senseless cruelty, ranging from gun violence in towns like Munich and Fort Lauderdale, Florida, to terrorist strikes around the world. Other animals are also at risk from humans, as evidenced by global warming and the destruction of forest and coral reefs. We're easily number one on the list of the most endangered animals in the world, given the harm we bring to many other creatures, as well as the fact that we frequently act impulsively and have the capability to annihilate our entire planet with a variety of terrifying weaponry. Most of the animals would scare the living daylights out of the ordinary person, and for me it has to be the black mamba because I'm terrified of snakes. Which one is it for you? Why don't you let us know in the comments below? Well, that's our countdown of 10 dangerous animals you don't want problems with. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. That's it for now.